Today, Mexico stands out as one of the most dynamic and culturally emblematic countries in the world. It captivates through a remarkable combination of natural landscapes, artistic traditions, culinary flavors, and the warmth of its people, which explains its frequent presence among the 10 most popular tourist destinations on the planet. However, this rich cultural identity is the result of a long history marked by profound political, social, and economic transformations, sometimes shaped by intense turmoil, the effects of which are still perceptible today. Located at the crossroads of North America and Central America, its history spans more than 13,000 years, from the earliest Mesoamerican societies to a modern nation-state shaped by colonization, independence, revolutions, and integration into globalization. Its history was irreversibly shaped by the interaction between the Old World and the New World, following the arrival of Spanish explorers on its shores, and everything that followed. How did these events and their successive repercussions shape the country we know today? It is through this historical trajectory that the Mexican nation was built. This is the history of Mexico. It is important to know that the first human groups arrived in Mexico by crossing the Bering Land Bridge, which then connected Asia to North America between 26,000 and 19,000 years before our era. Over the millennia, these populations gradually migrated southward. And then, the rise of ocean levels at the end of the last ice age, around 11,000 years ago, definitively isolated the Americas from the rest of the world. In the region later known as Mesoamerica, the abundance of natural resources encouraged the establishment of prosperous societies. Around 2000 BC, the development of agriculture and irrigation systems made sedentarization possible and led to the emergence of the first lasting civilizations. The oldest known Mesoamerican civilization is that of the Olmecs. It was established in the tropical zones of what are now the states of Veracruz and Tabasco. This civilization is particularly known for its impressive colossal stone heads. This culture reached its peak between 1200 and 400 BC. The Olmecs are considered a mother civilization, one that influenced all subsequent Mesoamerican cultures. The decline of the Olmecs around 300 BC gave way to the emergence of Teotihuacan, located in the present-day Valley of Mexico. A true metropolis, the city had nearly 125,000 inhabitants in the middle of the first millennium AD. This city was already larger than most European cities in 1519. Its pyramids were monumental, particularly those of the Sun and the Moon, which became major architectural references for subsequent civilizations. On the other hand, the Maya occupied southeastern Mexico, the Yucatan Peninsula, as well as territories corresponding today to Belize and Guatemala. They built large ceremonial cities and developed a complex writing system. In addition, they achieved major advances in mathematics, astronomy, and the creation of precise calendars. Over time, their civilization fragmented into rival city-states such as Tikal and Calakmul. And in the 9th century, this rivalry gave rise to a political collapse marked by internal conflicts and the abandonment of many cities. Teotihuacan, for its part, had already declined earlier. The exact causes of this decline are still debated today. After the collapse of Teotihuacan, the Toltecs dominated a large part of Mesoamerica around the year 1000. However, it was the Aztecs who left the most lasting mark on the pre-Hispanic history of Mexico. They established an alliance between three city-states: Tenochtitlan, Texcoco, and Tlacopan. Founded in 1325 on a lake, Tenochtitlan was connected to the shores by vast causeways. And with around 200,000 inhabitants, it ranked among the largest cities in the world and formed the heart of an empire ruling several million people, primarily through economic and military domination. The city was an architectural masterpiece, dominated by a great pyramid serving as a religious center and the stage for numerous human sacrifices. But nothing could prepare the Aztecs for what was to happen later, when two radically different worlds collided.
In 1519, the arrival of Spanish explorers changed everything. Indeed, following Christopher Columbus's discovery of the Americas, Spain launched expeditions toward new territories. It was alongside Hernán Cortés that these Spanish explorers landed on the Mexican coast with around 500 soldiers. They then founded Villarrica de la Veracruz, the first Spanish city in Mexico. Cortés took advantage of tensions among indigenous peoples hostile to Aztec domination in order to overthrow the Aztec Empire, which culminated in the fall of Tenochtitlan in 1521. Emperor Moctezuma II was killed, and the city was rebuilt under the name Mexico, capital of New Spain. The Spaniards numbered only about 500 during the conquest, supported by tens of thousands of indigenous allies. These people, who had been subjected by the Aztecs, allied with Cortés in the hope of freeing themselves from their domination. Following this, the Spaniards imposed Christianity through religious missions and established the encomienda system, based on the forced labor of indigenous populations. Moreover, European diseases, particularly smallpox, caused an unprecedented demographic catastrophe. Further north, nomadic peoples resisted colonization for a long time, but the discovery of rich silver mines, such as those in Zacatecas, made mining the pillar of the colonial economy. A strict social hierarchy emerged, opposing peninsulares, Creoles, mestizos, and indigenous peoples, while fostering deep cultural mixing. But despite everything, Spanish culture and indigenous cultures sometimes found common ground, giving rise to Mexican traditions such as the famous Dia de los Muertos, for example. In the 19th century, Enlightenment ideas and the American and French revolutions inspired local elites. It was then that Mexicans began to question independence. In 1810, Miguel Hidalgo launched the independence movement, which led in 1821 to the end of Spanish rule and the birth of an independent Mexican state. Following this, a short-lived monarchy emerged. Then a republic was proclaimed, but the country nonetheless remained highly unstable. The country lost Texas, then vast territories following the war against the United States between 1846 and 1848. The 19th and early 20th centuries were marked by civil wars, foreign interventions, and dictatorships, until the Mexican Revolution of 1910 to 1920, a founding event of modern Mexico. It was not until the 20th century that the country gradually stabilized under the Institutional Revolutionary Party, PRI. This period was economically prosperous for Mexico. This very strong economic growth is known as the Mexican Miracle. Following this, Mexico experienced numerous economic and political crises that shaped what it is today. The heir to a long, complex history, deeply marked by cultural mixing. By taking a closer look at the history of Mexico today, we can agree that it is that of a territory shaped by ancient migrations, brilliant civilizations, and major cultural clashes. From the Olmecs to the Aztecs, through the Maya, each civilization left a lasting imprint on the identity of this country. The brutal Spanish conquest profoundly transformed its political, social, and cultural structures, giving rise to a mixed society unique in the world. Today, Mexico embodies the result of centuries of transformation, where ancestral traditions and colonial heritage coexist to form a nation that is rich, complex, and profoundly alive.